Hey Aquarius, how about a reading from your metal dog today? I'm checking in with the moon. We've got a full moon, we got a full lunar eclipse, and we've got a bunch of other planetary action out there we're going to check in with. See what is happening in the Aquarian collective. All right, it's a general reading. Take or leave, but I hope it helps you. Let me know. Okay. So first we're going to pull an overall energy that is being brought to you by the moon, full moon in Scorpio, and the full lunar eclipse. We get the Chariot. This will be May 15th. A lot of energy coming out of the solar plexus. Momentum. If you've been stuck, you're going forward. A lot of people are in transition. As usual, Aquarius, I get the feeling you're ahead of the pack. Scorpios are just kind of emerging. You're just always running ahead of us, aren't you? It looks like you are balancing joyfully. I almost see like a dance, like a rain dance is what I want to say. Like in nature, full of faith. The infinity symbol comes through here. Lots of power and inspiration. The three of inspiration. Something you manifested. You can just watch as the dominoes fall into place. Also, a few things here. You got all this momentum and you're waiting. And what do you have to wait on? You need to do a little Four of Swords, four voices in this. Get in the bath, relax, heal. Look at your thoughts, look at your ideas. There's something in your ideas that needs to heal. Your mind, your air, you're Aquarius, you're an air sign. And this is going to take time because you need to change your perspective. You need to hang upside down here until you see in a new way. And then there's the portal. Okay, and this is the sun. This is a place that you thought was happiness, and I feel like you need to look at it anew and go into the next place. And you're ready for that. You're like speaking out to the universe, to your concept of the divine. You're full of faith in your ability to have manifested your vision. You're like, you look willing here and content in the bath. You look like you're in surrender. Like even this is surrender to me. So this is the underlying energy of the Chariot. It may be that this is describing a process that you have been through and now you're here. But let's see. We're going to check in with 4 planets who are putting some things into action. I could go into 6 planets, but we're going to do 4. If we need to ask about Venus and Jupiter after this is all said and done, we can. But we're going to ask about Saturn, our taskmaster. We're in square with Saturn, and so it looks a little bit challenging, although Saturn has been really helping all the other fixed signs in really cool ways. We're going to look at Mars and Neptune, who are both in Pisces and in a very lovely and positive and supportive trine relation. And then Mercury, who has gone into retrograde to complicate communication, technology, but also to review what perhaps your communications, your ideas over the past month and a half or so. Review and then go back over the same territory. So you really get to review and revise here. In fact, I sometimes like to do readings when everything's in retrograde about revising. Okay, so we're going to cut this deck. We'll ask Saturn, Mars, Neptune, and Mercury for a little advice. So Saturn says you'll be looking at your fortune, your wealth, your abundance, your home, the work you do with others, your family structure. This is all You're being challenged by Saturn to deal with this stuff. All right. Honestly, that doesn't sound fun to me. But Saturn's a good force. It's going to give you a constructive way to deal with this. Mars is going to give you some energy. This is generosity, charitable giving. It can help you with finding balance, equal give and take. Okay? Neptune, planet of illusions. It says, quit your job. Illusions, dreams, the spiritual. There's a burden that you get to let go of here. Okay? It doesn't have to be your job. There could be some other job, right, that you've had. And Neptune's saying, you can release that. Neptune's happily in Pisces. It's the end of the zodiac. Mars is also in Pisces. And so there's a lot of completions, a lot of letting goes. It's not been comfortable. And that's what Neptune wants to talk to you about. And finally, Mercury revisits the Ace of Wands, an idea, an inspiration. This is very Phoenix rising from the ash. It's a very kind of Scorpio death card energy here from the Ace of Wands. So you have a 10 of Wands with Neptune. And there's something that you started or that your passions are sort of around this instead of whatever this old thing was. And you're revisiting that. Something, some realm of communication perhaps. All right, underlying here, just one card, the King of Cups. It's a Scorpio energy. It's the emotionally mature king. It's always interesting how his ankle is tied up. You can see he has the magical power of, he keeps his cup, but he's also able to handle levitating even the other cups, the cups of those in his kingdom. So he tends to have an ability to care about others and to not be so self-centered about his emotions, Aquarius. And that's you, you're the humanitarian the zodiac sign. So let's see, let's clarify. I'm using two witchy decks here. Witchy decks, and I almost said witchy dicks, so haha. Very magical deck. So let's see. Saturn, putting you to the work of your 10 of this, your kingdom. How is Saturn going to help you with this or put you to this work? Let's see. There is a lot of wand energy, the 7 of rods or wands, resistance, really exerting your will, kind of self-protective, building a wall. And then the Empress, you and your abundance, you able to create everything that you need without a partner. Empress is coming up for others too, other fixed signs right now. It's like, there's a lot of singular energy right now. It's like the astrologers are saying with this Scorpio moon, like we're all going to be thinking about relationships. The tarot is saying the first relationship that you're thinking about is the one with yourself. But it's in a big Empress way, right? It's in this King of Cups way. It's very generous. It's very abundant. It's very creative, reproductive, earthy, and a 10 of Cauldrons. So you have the 10 of Pentacles, and then there's real emotional fulfillment that is different, but related to the 3D abundant security wealth that the 10 of Discs or Pentacles represents. I feel like there's two families. There's two visions of family. This seems very lonely and austere, and they're just like these silhouettes here. And this seems fun to me. More of the heart. All the cups are of the heart, and these are of money. So it looks like by setting good boundaries, you revise this in your Empress way from a security-based image to a contentment-based image. You may not be up on your high, rich kingdom, but you're happier down here in the land of love and cups. And I see here like the castle, the fortress. It's in the background. They're out here in nature. It looks like a simpler life. And you've been able to establish this with your willpower. And that's what Saturn brings you, discipline. It disciplines you to be clear, have a plan. You're being encouraged and supported with this Empress energy. This is you, or this is supporting you. It is the time of spring, of abundance and nature. And so we can feel quite rich without material wealth, you know? Okay, so Mars is going to help by bringing in charity, generosity, ability to accept help, or like that Mars helps you get a more reciprocal instead of a hierarchical relationship, which is always what I want when I see a Six of Discs. There is a card that the Six of Discs in another deck of mine that really showed me something about this card, which I tend to struggle with. If you watch my channel, you know this. But it had a land of the tropical, like abundant water, hummingbirds just thrilling in this gorgeous green place, and then a desert with a raven who's getting just a few drops of water, and that the raven understands the value of water because of having a lack, and the world is not equal. The hummingbirds are naive and privileged, whereas the crow, from suffering, from lack, has compassion for everybody in the world. And so that's another interpretation of Six of Discs, where we see the wisdom of poverty. What else? Okay, Mars. There's a Queen of Cups. She is like the King of Cups, emotionally mature, but she is good at talking about her feelings. Okay. The Knight of Cauldrons, the classy love offer. I feel like, okay, let's go over one more. Three of Rods, a manifestation. Interesting, Aquarius. It feels like Mars is thinking about Venus in this time, and this came up in the Taurus reading too. So Mars is thinking about his counterpart, the planet Venus. She has gone into Aries. She is starting a new cycle with Jupiter, planet of expansion, healthcare. It's almost like we get to begin a new cycle. That's why we keep seeing Fools. We see tens and we see ones, aces. Endings and beginnings right now. It's a period of transition. So Mars is thinking about his girlfriend. And he's thinking about bringing her his heart. And she's there. She's ready for this. This is more of an equal give and take. These two, right? They both come heart forth. The king does too, right? He's our overarching guy, but you know, he's more selfless. Yeah, and then we see that this is helpful. This is something you wished for, and it's being brought to you. Three of Rods is usually much more about something you manifested coming in. This is always about getting divine support. And I see that here. Like, I feel like it's Mars that's helping this ideal of this vision of this person is being helped by Mars, represented by this, the generosity out here. It's clear like you're moving from an unhappy family to a happy one with the help of Mars. That's interesting. So generalize that as you will. Mars misses Venus right now when it comes through. He's looking forward to. Something changed in the masculine. Oh, anyway, okay. Neptune says there's a burden you get to put down. 10 of Wands. Put down that burden. But this is a card of spiritual idealism, illusions, dreams. It can be more complicated than simply being given the mojo, like Mars gives you mojo. Neptune's going to put you into a trip, right? A watery, emotional, intuitive trip, almost like a moon journey. So let's see. There's your Six of Pentacles again. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. A new beginning. Always, I have to see this. It's a 3D beginning. It's a new house, a new job. There's blood on that altar. A sacrifice has to be made. I feel like this is what you have to sacrifice somehow. This safety. It's lonely. And there's victory. Six of Rods. Recognition. You're being asked to give something up. It looks very financial. It looks like just give up some money. Give up some kind of I feel like it's only wealth, and that what remains is like emotional fulfillment. Like this is coming in. All you have to do is give up something that you really care about a lot. It means something to you. You worked hard for it. No question. This is a sacrifice. I mean, to me, because I'm prejudiced against wealth, it looks easy, right? Just spend a little money, give a little money, give up some things, and then you'll be victorious, and you get free of this burden. Okay, now this is Neptune. So this is a tricky one. It's been really interesting to read this. This isn't necessarily true. This is an idea that if you pay this off, you make this bloody sacrifice. It's almost like you pound of flesh, right? That you'll be victorious. You'll be relieved of this burden. Neptune is calling you to reflect on this idea. It's almost like this is what the idea that maybe you need to surrender even as you go through this process of surrendering in so many beautiful ways. Waiting to see how it all comes down. This is what you're actually motivated to do. You're motivated right now towards this learning experience. It's a learning experience that's going to bring you to victory, to this Knight of Cups, to this 10 of Cups. And you're being supported by Mars. But there's an idea that you have that if you just pay this off, you'll be victorious. Let's see, because this is something that you may have decided. You just burn it all down and rise from the ashes. And because Mercury is revisiting, let's just see. A funny kind of, I really like this reading. Okay, so there's this couple. The Four of Cups it's like they don't really have, it's like a disappointing ho-hum, been there, done that. It's so boring, I'm asleep in it life. They don't have high expectations in a Four of Cups. Basically, you feel like, oh, I've seen it all and I'm asleep, right? And that's coming up under this. So this is Mercury's journey here. Then there's a building with others energy. It's like, here you are kind of alone though, but the Three of Pentacles tends to be building with other skilled people in the 3D, making a vision real in the world, which is a little bit this energy too of a Three of Wands, sort of waiting for it to come in versus making it happen. And the Emperor, Mr. 3D, right? I never think of these two as a couple. He lives in the city, she lives in the woods, but they're very much the power couple. So Mercury is looking back over this. It's like, I fell asleep. I was working with other people. And yeah, I let my kingdom go. Yeah, that's why the Ten of Cups is over this. So in contrast to this emperor did this. You did this. You fell asleep on the job of your emotional coupledom, your life, your family, your emotional contentment. You were super involved in work with others, maybe work alone, it doesn't matter. But this is what you did instead of this, and so this fell asleep. And what you did as the leader of your kingdom is you lost it. You lost it. And so it's over. And that's why you get this Ace of Wands. Mercury is you need to take responsibility for how your willpower caused this disaster. There's freedom in that. Yeah. There is freedom in that. You think this is freedom. Pay it off. Make a little sacrifice in the financial. And you are going to find emotional contentment with good boundaries, with knowing your worth, like the Empress, to move from the sort of materialistic, security-based happiness vision to this one. It looks very clear that Mars is helping you, right? Mars is helping you in the realm of love to get that true classy love offer. But I question, and I think Neptune is causing us to question, whether it's going to be as simple as paying this burden off and riding off victorious. It appears to me that you also need to take responsibility how, unlike the King of Cups, who is present emotionally for his kingdom, this Emperor fell asleep on the job. And when you go back over what happened recently, as Mercury goes in retrograde and recovers the territory that you just went through in the past couple months, your freedom, your rising from the ashes like the phoenix, comes when you accept this truth. Okay, so this is the changed perspective of the Hanged Man. Okay, and you set out on this journey willingly. You surrendered. You said, all right, let the dominoes fall where they may. You totally went into this from your solar plexus, from your power source. I do feel like what you think is the solution is not the solution. And I feel like I want to ask why. I mean, what is that? Why isn't making the sacrifice, this generosity, going to make you victorious and help you put down this burden and transform your concept of happiness from one that's built on security to one that's built on emotional, being conscious and awake emotionally, right? Not asleep on the job or doing your job instead of doing your heart work. Geez, Aquarius, sorry this is kind of a tough reading for you. But let's see. Why isn't this going to work? Is it going to work? Am I wrong? It doesn't. Neptune says, question this. It might be an illusion. So let's find out more. What's going on here? There's a Fool. That's not bad. That is a leap of faith. Page of Inspiration. This is the foreigner, the queer, the outsider, the one that lives outside the norms in the magical world of the imagination. Very Neptunian. And Strength. Okay. There's more to do than pay this off. There's a young one here. And for this young one, this is the one who's in your kingdom. Could be you, could be your inner child, could be your kid, could be young people in the world, right? Because you have a big world purpose, Aquarius. Your little kingdom, whatever it is, right, has this little beautiful one in it. This actually reminds me of my little sister, my littlest sister. She, whoever she is, or who, they are, needs you to rise to your highest self, to your lion's heart. You can't go to sleep on your job here. It's almost like this young one is this Knight of Cups. Like, I thought it was going to be like a new romance. But it's this Fool, this youngster that needs you. Could be you, your inner child. There's a lot of messages that we all need to do ourselves right now. So that could be you. But if you have a young one, consider that this is your primary job here. And that, sure, you can pay off with the Six of Pentacles, you can make this financial sacrifice. But, so what is this Page of Inspiration? What do they need from you? They need a solid 3D life on the earth. Real commitment. They need patience and time. And this is ascension from the heart. This is making me think of the Strength card of like you coming from your highest self. They need you to rise to this occasion, Aquarius. This is the perspective that you need to shift towards as you go through this. This letting go and the starting anew. There's somebody else or some other community that needs you to be solid, present, think of time, focus. Like, look at the focus of Temperance. This is like intense focus. It's attention. Okay, what's on the bottom here? 2 cards. Reiterating this. You're captivated by the wrong thing. You feel trapped. This is like, take off the VR glasses and come into the real world, into Earth, the Page of Pentacles. I mean, for me, like, I often read Aquarius readings from my career. I'm rising Aquarius. So, like, I mean, I don't have a kid. I don't have a young person that needs my focus. I mean, maybe my little sisters, my family. members. But I feel like this is bigger. Like, it makes me think of a focus on Earth herself, on the natural world, and getting out of TV land and coming down to earth, being present in the real world in all its abundance. And this definitely has to do with younger people, my nieces, nephews, little sister, my students. Like, there's something, a purpose here that I have to turn towards. And it's not like, and I never think it is, but it's not charitable giving. It's not like, no, I'll make a little sacrifice and then I'll get to the castle, then I'll get to my white picket fence. Like, this is not a time where we get to be selfish. That's what happened to the emperor, Mr. Structural Power. Selfishness, the heart went to sleep. Everybody was a workaholicing, and we've fucked it up, right? And so rising from this, revisiting this, I can certainly say I have turned my attention for my job away from like this really new commitment and connection that I'm making to communicating with my planet. And that I do this for all the people of this planet, all the beings, not just human beings. And I'm just learning about this. I'm a novice at this, listening. I'm not an emotional novice, though. So that's how I would interpret this to my narrative of my life and how I apply my Aquarian rising. Just a kind of alternative narrative, because when I do Aquarius readings, I can tend to think about one person in my world, but there's many Aquarians who are facing the same kind of dilemma, as appears the collective of fixed signs are too, of relooking at yourself and relooking at your relationships in some realm of your life, and committing first to self-knowledge, to being awake to who you are, and second to how that is the foundation for all of your other relationships, human and otherwise. That this is the fourth of the fixed sign readings that I've done this weekend. That is a general message that has come through for all of us. Very challenging, very full of possibility time. Aquarius, let me know. I hope this helps. Have a beautiful day.